What's up guys, welcome back to BixbyFilms. So today I'm going to tell you about 5 common mistakes that I see people and brands making when it comes to Facebook ads. I'm going to keep it pretty brief in this video about each subject, but I will do separate videos about each one that goes further in depth, and if you have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments. Some of these may be basic for you if you're more advanced in Facebook ads, but regardless, these are common mistakes that I see a lot and hear about a lot. Alright, so number 1. I see a lot of people when it comes to Facebook ads, they're selling instead of marketing. And what I mean by that is they're making ads that are like a cold hard sell right up front to people that may not even know their brand or product. The best way to go about it is to tell a story about your brand or product and present it in different forms to your audience. If it's someone who may not know about your brand, maybe you should have an ad that introduces what your brand does, what problem your brand or product solves, instead of trying to sell them right up front. So it's very important to invoke storytelling into your ads, making sure that your ads are speaking to the right person. When making your ads, you should have separate categories. You should have ads for people who don't know about your brand or product, ads for people who do but may not have bought yet. You should have ones that maybe retarget people who are loyal customers, that maybe you have a new product that you think they'd be into and you can retarget them. Alright, moving on to number 2. I noticed that a lot of people are not using a Facebook pixel. Now this may sound very basic, but it is a common issue that I've noticed with new advertisers. People don't understand what a Facebook pixel is, and that's all understandable because it can be confusing. So what a Facebook pixel is, if you don't know, is just it's a little piece of JavaScript or code that you place on your website, and it's generated by Facebook for free. And what it does is when you run ads that run traffic to your website, it can analyze those people who are coming from your ads, and it just analyzes their activity, not their actual personal information. So I don't want to confuse you on that. But it analyzes that they came from Facebook to your website. It analyzes their activity on your website, whether they click on buttons, whether they made a purchase, and it just says this user, and it will show male or female, age, maybe location. It's never anything that's personally identifiable, but the pixel can gather that data and collect it, and then you can then later access it to make your ads better in a sense and more optimized, and to target people that have similar behavior on your website. It's pretty easy to implement. All you have to do is create a pixel within Facebook Business Manager, and then you can have your web developer place the code on your website. If you know how to do it, you just go and place it in the header and the body of your website, and you're good to go. Number 3, let's talk about budgets. A lot of people are afraid to spend on Facebook and these different social media platforms that offer ad buying, and I think it's one because it's still a relatively new technology, and there is this stigma that social media has been free, why pay for it? And 2, there's a stigma that Facebook ads just don't work. And I feel like the people that are saying that just don't know how to use them and probably have had a bad experience and wasted their money. You don't have to spend $1 million on Facebook ads. A good rule of thumb is you should be spending about 10 to 15% on Facebook or advertising, whatever platform you choose. You should be spending 10 to 15% of whatever you want to make. So let's say you want to make $1,000 from your Facebook ads, you should be spending $100 to $150 in your ads to try to achieve that goal. That doesn't mean just because you spend that you're going to make that money. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know that your product's good, your messaging is good, brand trust. There's so many factors that go into it, but if all of those things are good and you target the right person with your ad, chances are you can definitely make some money, and you may make more than $1,000 with that $100 spend. It all comes with experimenting, and unfortunately sometimes it comes with experimenting with your money, spending to find out. You may spend money on Facebook just to find out if something works, and you may not get a result back from it. So you gotta spend probably like 20 bucks, maybe 50 bucks to be able to find that out. Doesn't mean you won't get results, but it just means that you probably won't get the results you'll see once you spend $200. Alright, number 4, split testing. I'm noticing that a lot of people are not split testing their ads. So whenever you create an ad in Facebook, most people create one ad and hope for the best. But what Facebook system allows you to do is create 50 different variations of that ad within one ad set. So you can create your ad, duplicate it, and then make one little change, whether it's the photo, and it will test each one and pick the best performing one for you automatically. And it doesn't charge you extra for this. When you create one ad, as long as you enter in all the different fields, you get up to 5 different headlines and 5 different captions per ad, and it will automatically test them for you. And then if you make 50 different ads within that ad set, with each one having 5 different captions and 5 different headlines, if you do them all, that's 500 different variations of ads within one ad set. And then people are just making one ad and hoping for the best. So that's like the most basic way that I could break it down. Alright, number 5. I'm noticing that people are not using URL parameters to track their ads. What this does is you add a little snippet of text to the end of the URL to your Facebook ad. When someone clicks on it, it will send data back to Google Analytics or whatever analytics that you use. It'll say this specific ad brought this person to this page, in order to identify exactly which ad, especially if you have multiple variations like I was just mentioning, you need to know the name of the ad so you can eliminate the ones that don't perform well, and you can keep boosting the budget of the ones that perform really well. And it's important to track your ads outside of Facebook analytics, because there can be discrepancies. Facebook may say that they gave you this amount of clicks. Google Analytics can read it on your website and say, well, we think this amount of clicks came to your site. So you got to be able to compare, like, are you losing money on Facebook? Are you actually getting the traffic that they're saying? A lot of times there are always going to be small discrepancies, maybe 5 or 10 clicks off, but for the most part, they're pretty accurate. But that's why it's important to use URL parameters on your ads. Alright guys, that wraps up this video. I hope these tips have been helpful and insightful. Hopefully they help you save time and money with your ads. If you have any questions or want me to cover something in the future, definitely let me know in the comments. Follow me on Instagram as well. I post pretty much every day on there. Alright guys, get out there and make some awesome Facebook ads, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.